Hello, everybody. Welcome to Paper Out. Guess what day it is? Drum roll,
Mike.
guys.
What day is it, Mike?
Hump day!
Guess what today is?
Ashley got on me last time for not doing the drum roll.
No, we gotta run it again. B-Flow got the memo. What the hell, Brandon? You back in studio and you messing up the flow one more time. BC, get me ready.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Guess what day it is? It's hump
Guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
You never asked me to do that before.
Yes, I do because you know. Well, no, I don't because you normally do it. I don't know why
Not
you
like
acting
that.
brand new today.
Oh, you're trying to stunt this
He's
time?
trying to stunt because you here. You see that?
Your color is amazing, and you're in a different seat. This is our first time in studio with three people.
I'm in the middle.
Can we get B? Can we get B a cushion? So
You feel me?
Can we get B a cushion?
let me just explain. We got
Time out.
They got me on like
I'm
a
normally
regular.
I'm 5'7", so I'm not short. But next to Brandon, I'm short. But next to B-Flow, we're about the same. So now we're good.
We're not about the same. I'm like 6 foot, but it's cool.
So
I
then
think
how
we're good
sitting
now.
down are you shorter than
Now
me?
we all look
You got
level.
like
I'm
an
on-
8-inch cushion.
That's true.
all
That's because
good.
I'm trying to be closer to his height.
I hear you.
Now we look
Alright.
good. This looks good. This feels good. It is hump day. And Ashley, you always have a great day on hump day.
I
It's
love
your
hump
day.
day.
It's your day.
Yeah, I feel kind of like an Oreo today. You know, like literally like an Oreo. Here we go. Nobody got that reference?
Yeah,
with
yes,
it.
of course we
Okay,
did.
just making sure.
I'm
I
with
didn't know if anybody else got that reference. Listen, what did you guys do last night? Anything fun? Brandon, you were coming back from Houston. I gotta get used to like this mic not being.
Right. We'll fix that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you get into?
It was a random Tuesday. I don't know if it's too much to do on Tuesdays. I was just chilling. Boring night for me. I ain't like BB be traveling everywhere. How about you, Ash? You had something going
No,
on?
I was inside. I don't go out during weekdays.
I was traveling
Yeah.
back, and then I got a haircut for today. So you see I look clean, you know what I mean? Check
I
me
see
out.
you.
You know what I mean?
I see you.
I didn't notice the haircut.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Got a haircut. I'm
Congratulations.
excited about today. Brian put together a great show. I saw all the stuff that you sent in as well. So I'm excited about this conversation.
yeah, let's dive into it. First and foremost, Wednesday headline stands out to you the most. Brandon, I'll start with you.
Jones, back flying high. B, you covered Julio Jones for years. You know what type of guy he is. Obviously, he's not the Julio Jones from the Atlanta Falcons, but he's back in the NFL. This is interesting. I ran into Julio in Vegas right before the season. It was a big fight, and he talked about his desire to continue to play. And I forgot about Julio Jones. So when this came across the ticker yesterday, I thought it was like one of those spoofs. So it's cool to see Julio Jones back and how he's going to contribute to this Super Bowl
What do you mean
team.
you forgot about him?
Where's Jarvis Landry? You forgot about Jarvis Landry. You know he's still out there on the street. There's a lot
I didn't forget
there's
about
a lot
Jarvis
of
Landry. He's not playing, but I didn't forget about
That's
him.
what I mean. But there's a lot of our favorite players that's on the
Yeah.
streets right now. And if I say if I go through 10 to 15 names, you'd be like, damn, he's still available.
Yeah.
There's a lot of superstars or guys that we grew up loving that's on the street. We call it being on the street when you're a free agent. So yeah, Julio Jones is back. That's my news of the day.
So for me, we all know I love hip hop, basketball wise. I love drama, right? So we got C.J. Gardner-Johnson putting Deebo on blast. I love the back and forth when you talking that talk, especially when you got to play each other. So
Right.
that's a little headline I like.
You like basketball wise?
I mean, yeah, I like drama. I don't like drama in my life, so I'm gonna get entertainment out of somebody else's drama. Like they going through it over there.
I wouldn't have pegged you for like a basketball wives fan.
Whenever
Do you
it's
like
drama.
Real Housewives?
Yeah, all that.
Oh my God, I love Real Housewives. We have to talk.
I'm locked
That is
in.
my- that is like my
Let's go.
that is my guilty pleasure. I love me
I'm
some Real
locked in.
Housewives. We gotta find out what your favorite franchise
She
is.
said we gotta talk.
No, but for real, I love meeting people who like are into Real
Right.
Housewives because like a whole conversation, a
Oh,
whole
B, I watch
world.
them all.
Are
B.
y'all
It's like
into
a
the
whole world.
Kardashians?
No,
I used to be.
Kardashians.
No.
It was good at one time.
No, I love me some Real Housewives. For me, it's LeBron eating on the sidelines during the pregame. A man after my own heart. Because if I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat. So we'll dive into whether he was right
What
or whether he
happened?
was wrong.
We gotta wait.
We gotta wait. We gotta wait. First and foremost, we're gonna start with your news of the day. And Julio Jones is now flying high with the Philadelphia Eagles. Couldn't have gone to a better situation, 5-1 after taking their first loss to Brandon's New York Jets
That's right.
last week. Now, this is the big news out of the NFL over the last 24 hours. 7-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Julio Jones, like I said, is joining the Philadelphia Eagles. It is on a 1-year deal. Jones is 34 years old, and Philly will be his 4th team in the last 4 years. So he's been moving around, traveling around a little bit. Does Julio Jones have anything left in the tank? Let's go, B-Flow.
It's the Julio Jones, right? So you automatically think like, yeah, he gonna be an addition. But he's been injured, man.
Yeah.
He's been with Tampa with Tom Brady, and we haven't seen the Julio who we thought we was gonna see. But this is what he is gonna give Philadelphia. He can get matched up on a third, fourth cornerback, maybe a safety, and that's where he becomes a mismatch. He's not gonna be down the field running behind defenders like A.J. Brown. Or Smith. It's just like he's going to be that 4th option where it's like, hey, you got to put a safety on him because the personnel they have in the game, or a dime corner. And that's when he should get his touches, going over the middle, being a big target. Jalen, he's almost going to be like Jalen's tight end over there if they use him right. So I think he'll be an addition. He'll keep the chains moving. And whenever you can grab a weapon, a pass catcher like Julio, and a vet who people respect, it's always going to be an asset.
Right. So I played 13 years in the league. I say this a lot, and but I bring it up this time because I never made it to the playoffs. B, you made it to the playoffs before?
Of course.
I never made it to the playoffs, bro.
That had some stank behind it.
And
He
so,
said that's
yeah,
crazy.
Gotta get in the playoffs.
No, it is. It really is,
That's
bro.
like that Kevin Hart meme where
and
he tells him that Wesley Snipes Don Cheadle tells him his age, and he goes, damn.
Right.
That's
So
unheard of.
that's exactly that. And look, I'm Phil. My NFL career, like I wouldn't change. Like I can go to sleep at night. You know how there's some old dudes, old heads that's like they still bitter, or they feel like there's still more meat on the bone. I don't feel that way for 97% of my career. That 3% is like having an opportunity to take a shot at the Super Bowl. That's all I wanted. I ain't even like, yo, just put me in position. Get me in the playoffs. I want to see who I am there.
Yeah.
I say that because, Julio Jones, his value to this team, right? And it's like, let me back up. I had an opportunity playing for the Jets where if we win, we're in. Last game of the season, we go up to Buffalo. This is 2015-16. We win, we're in. And there's myself, there's Eric Decker, and we had Matt Forte at running back. We had everything we needed. But what they were doing was they was doubling me. They was doubling Eric Decker. So they'll double me on 1st and 2nd down. 3rd down was Eric Decker's down, so they'll double him there, right? And they make lean towards me. So that 3rd receiver was critical.
Yeah.
And so I knew we didn't have a chance in the first quarter. It was only 30 degrees. And this 3rd receiver that we had, he's sitting there and he's cold. So that's a strike one. That's a red flag. He gets his opportunity to make a play. He's one-on-one. The whole week I'm saying, I'm telling Fitz, I'm telling the coaches, he's the guy. Cover 0. Go make your play. Go route. He drops it wide open. B, Ashley, he's sitting on the sideline like this. And he's just like a deer in the headline. The moment was too big for him.
Don't that piss you off?
It pissed me off, but I say all that to say this is like, that's what the Philadelphia Eagles need Julio. That's his value.
Yeah.
It's like those 50-50 balls, those contested balls, when they're doubling Smitty, when they're doubling the black Batman, can you just back shoulder? Or are you going to come down with it? Is the moment too big? And a veteran like this, bro, he's still clutch. Now, he ain't going to run by you like he used to, but can he win on a slant? Can he win on the back shoulder? Can he win on the go ball? And the answer for me is yes, if he's healthy, like you said.
Well, that's the biggest question mark here. Like I said, 4th team in 4 years. A lot of that has been because of lack of production that you would expect with a Julio Jones, and also dealing with, injuries, whether major or minor. So coming into the situation, the Philadelphia Eagles are already deep. This doesn't hurt them. It doesn't, I feel like, drastically move the needle for them. I think much to Brandon's point, if you can get even a fraction of the activity is also very valuable. This is a younger team. Mm-hmm. This is a team that's still trying to figure themselves out. As we talked about yesterday, it is also a team that looks a little bit different than they did this time last year. Mm-hmm. Some will say, that maybe because it's the Super Bowl hangover or whatever the case may be. But I do think that Julio could be the glue that this team needs to kind of start figuring out what that identity is that's going to be remnant of what they were last year.
Right.
So I think that even if he's not the most productive, which I'm on the side of, I don't think he's going to be like a needle mover. I really just think
he
that.
is, though. Because it's like how you describe needle mover. It's like think about
in terms of like what he does on the field, not what he does like within the organization, what he does in the locker room. I think that what he does on the field isn't going to move. It
will.
You think
yes,
so?
Here's the moment. This is what I mean. That's why I try. I maybe took too long to get to my point with this third receiver that we had with the Jets up in Buffalo. But it's fourth quarter, 2-minute mode. We gotta have it. They're taking out your best players. He's on the backside. It's cover 0. To B's point, this is the third, fourth best DB on him. He's scared shitless. He runs a go route. The ball's up. Is the moment helmet. And to me, the answer is yes, and that's a needle mover. Now, it's different than what we saw, Ashley, in Atlanta, but it's like that 1 play, 2 plays a game, or 1 or 2 plays in the playoffs. It could just be 3 plays all year.
Yeah. And they bringing him in on a favorable contract. It's not like you paying him crazy millions a year and you want him to produce. And if he get hurt or get banged up, you're like, oh, he eating up our cap. It's like at this point of the year, what other player can you plug in that's going to be that valuable, like you said, as a Julio who's been there before, who made big catches, that you can pay this amount of money just to be an asset for your team, not go complain for the ball. He always been a team player. You never seen him in the news demanding the ball. So it's the right fit. Like you said, like I said, he's going to match up against some dime corners, some nickel corners, and he should take advantage. So
how much better does this make Jalen Hurts? That's the biggest question. Obviously, Jalen Hurts has been struggling in a little bit. We do know he had those interceptions in the last game against the Jets. How much better does this make him having another weapon, even if it's a weapon that he may not be able to utilize as much as he does as other guys on his team?
It makes him extremely dangerous if they can build the chemistry, and that's the biggest question. It makes him dangerous because it's like a safety blanket. He's going to get cover 0 against the third or fourth best defender, defensive back. And if he can just come down with the ball, think about it. You taking AJ away, you taking Smitty away, I'm just going to throw it up to my guy right there. So it makes him dangerous because when he doesn't have anything, he has something.
What about you, B-Fly?
No, he hit on everything. He's going to be his security blanket. Almost like I said, also, he's going to be their tight end. Like when they need 5 yards, Julio will put that big body on the safety, big body on the corner, and just have that catch radius to move the chains. And also, it's going to allow opening up running lanes for Hurts, right? Because the secondary, they not going to send that much pressure. Because now you got 3 guys to worry about as this receiving core. And once they start covering up, their eyes looking at Julio, Smith, A.J. Brown, nobody's focused on the quarterback. So that's going to open up lanes for him to scramble, get 10, 12 yards, keep the chains moving. So it'll all come together. And they got a head coach in Nick Sirianni who's going to welcome Julio in. He's going to make it work.
Right.
Like, I've been with Nick Sirianni in Kansas City and San Diego when the Chargers was there. And he's a guy, he's almost like a Pete Carroll. When he come in, he go get you going. He's almost like a life coach, right?
Yeah.
He gonna make you feel good. He's like, we gonna feed you the ball when you get here. You gonna be the guy. I know we have guys, but watch, I'm gonna tell you.
Right.
I'm gonna show you. You gonna be the guy. So Julio could come in with that confidence and look for him to be active and getting a lot of touches early.
Ooh.
All right, well, let's go ahead and see what else is going on around the league. Tyreek Hill's got a flip phone.
You said it right.
I know, but I feel like I don't know. That's not a flip phone that's shown. That's an iPhone. He probably wishes he had that one. But listen, Tyreek Hill made headlines over the weekend, not just because of another huge game against the Carolina Panthers, but also because of his flip phone celebration after scoring a touchdown. Now, Tyreek Hill says he knows the fine is coming, but it's, quote, worth it. We have a video of that we can show you right here. Check this out. I don't get the how's that a flip phone?
Well, he flipped with the phone.
Ashley.
Oh.
Well, you thought he had a Nokia.
I thought it was like an
actual
like a flip phone celebration where it was like flip. Yeah, that's not.
Ashley.
I thought it was like a flip phone celebration.
No, he flipped with a phone. Dang, that's crazy. Look, we talked about this before. We're going to move on real quick.
That wasn't even like.
Well, that was dope.
I thought it it was like he actually was like taking like that and whatever. Okay,
That was cool, and it definitely was a stage, right? You can tell,
because he knew whose phone to grab and like.
Tyreek is one of those guys that have a plan every single week. Okay, so they probably came into this game and he's like, this is the celebration. So whatever side we're moving to, you need to be in the end zone because you know I'm a score. And yeah, like I like this, and like we talked about before, guys always set aside, like guys like this always set aside fine money. And he's playing into that. He want the NFL to find him. Why? Because this was talked about Sunday and Monday, and now it's Wednesday. We're still talking about it. So it just keeps his name in the media.
Like I said, this is not what I thought that this was.
He's slowly becoming my favorite player in the NFL, right? Because he's constantly making plays and he having so much fun on the field.
Yes.
And then he also is showing a side of himself that we haven't seen before. Like when the guy was almost going to take the ball from his mom, how he surprised the guy at dinner and gave him a ball. Like he's doing all the things in the community also to just be the face and the pillar in the face of just the Miami Dolphins. He came around my way and threw a free camp for the kids when he first got signed. So Tyreek Hill, he's slowly becoming my favorite guy in the NFL, man. He's doing it the right way.
The chat's laughing at me. Did everyone know this is not an actual flip phone?
I didn't even know they still made flip phones.
What do you
so
mean?
What do you think drug dealers and stuff use? They use burner phones.
It ain't flip.
They're yeah, they are.
Nah, they
Yeah,
are.
the
kind of
they're
flip.
flip
That
phones.
is-
The burner phones is still digital.
Nah, the
touchscreen.
best burner phone is a flip phone.
Nah, it's a flip
Hold
phone,
on,
but I
no,
ain't think
no, B,
nobody
here's the
have
question.
it on
B,
the
here's the
field.
question. Ashley, how would you know?
I had a very suspect dating pool in high school. I had a very suspect type in high school.
Oh, my goodness.
I've moved on to greener pastures, but back in the day,
You Sierra. You went from Future to Russ.
no, I didn't go to Russ. I didn't find my Russ yet. I'm kind of in between right now. I'm still trying to figure it out. All right, listen, moving on. Cool your jets, because Aaron Rodgers broke Twitter this weekend when a video of him surfaced once again. We've been talking about this, of him throwing on the field pregame right here. Here he is, without crutches, without a limp. Now, we have been talking about Rodgers' potential return, but Rodgers himself says everyone just needs to cool their jets with all the talk. Bottom line, once and for all, is Rodgers just playing with the crowd, playing with the fan base, or is he actually going to gear up for a comeback?
Look, so he's definitely gearing up for a comeback, but it's never been done before. Like what he's trying to do, even a surgery, there's only a few people that had this particular procedure, right? So I think what he's doing is just trying to control it, right? The expectations, because, what happens if, or when, I should say, January rolls around and they're right in position, but he's not ready. So I think this is him controlling narrative a lot like Dion. Like he does a really good job there. He's super savvy. I want to go back to this video real quick because we had this debate, I believe it was yesterday or Monday, and you guys was laughing at me a little bit, but go back to the video. In the back, you see the backup quarterback. Look at the backup quarterback, okay? That's the backup quarterback. Look at how he's throwing. Look how Aaron Rodgers is throwing 1 month post-op. What guy do you want, Ashley? Because you're like, oh, why would he do this? He's 40 years old. Why would you jeopardize next year? This is why. Look at him. Look at beautiful. He's 1 month out. Look at the guy in the back. Look at the backup quarterback. You want that guy coming in? That's who you want. Look at how he's standing. Look at his legs. Look at his legs. He's knocked. Well, I don't want to say there's a knock-me community out there.
I'm going to be honest.
What?
I don't care about this anymore. Like, I honestly want to stop talking about this. Like, I really just, we get it. He's on the field. He's throwing. He may come back. He may not come back. I think it's dumb if he comes back. I don't really care if he comes back. I don't want to talk about this anymore. B-Flow, real quick, final point, because I want to move on from this. This is the bane of my existence.
I'm glad Rodgers putting this to rest, too, because when they showed this video, I could have sworn I heard I could have sworn I heard that coming from that way from B. Marsh. He might not have said it in the mic, but I seen him looking like it's still a chance.
That's
but
right.
Nah, this is done. Next year, we can start up the hype again. This is going to be his last year playing in the league. Next year, AC going to go out on top. We're going to have that whole little debate. So, yeah, let's just shelf it to next year.
I like it.
All right, moving on. Finally, thank you. Here we go. The return of Zion Williamson, that is. Listen, Zion is back on the court for the Pelicans, and he is again showing us why all the hype is very, very real. While I'm talking about this, roll this video, BC.
It's true to see Zion. Since we only had 3,000 in build. Oh, there he is again. Another nice steal. He's going to take it, throw another one down.
Guys, with stars like LeBron and Steph getting a little bit older, how important is it for Zion to make his return?
It's very
to
important.
The association.
It's very important because he's a superstar. We all know this, but he's a flashy superstar. He's definitely a superstar.
Healthy, for sure.
Yeah. Like, we had a Kawhi Leonard of the world, whereas he's a superstar, but his game is so methodical. It's just like he's going to post you up, hit born, mid-ranges. But Zion, he had, 4 steals in the first quarter? Like, he's a splash player. It's good for ratings. It's good. You always looking to see what dunk he going to make, So I think he's great for the NBA. Like you said, KD, LeBron, all those guys, they're getting up in age. So it's about time for someone like Zion to just come take over, right. And make New Orleans kind of that franchise what Steph made Golden State.
So here's what I say. That video first, and you don't have to go back to it, but he didn't get up high. You talk about that flash player. He wasn't above the rim like we used to seeing Zion. So, let's pay attention to that. He does look good. I hear you with the 4 steals. Is he a superstar? Is he not a superstar?
Points in 16 minutes.
All right, but what I'm saying is, his body of work, that sample size is so small. So it's like, I don't know what he is. I don't think none of us know what he is. I need to see it.
That's fair.
I will say this, though. Deep down, he's a superstar.
Yeah.
He's that guy. And sometimes you need to hit rock bottom to get over the hump. And I'm not saying he hit rock bottom, but this start of his career is not ideal. It's not something that he probably wanted and nobody expected. But it was a tumultuous off season, to say the least, with his private matters. And sometimes moments like that make you look in the mirror and fix some things all around. And so I'm excited to see this season because Zion Williams absolutely can be a superstar if he's out there healthy and then also handling his business. So,
well, that's the biggest key. I think with Zion, we haven't really seen the best version of him since Duke.
Right.
Or maybe actually the summer league, I would say, when he played, maybe even his first season, half the season. I just feel like, can we roll that video one more time, BC? Because I personally don't see, and I broke my nail, guys. Don't look at my finger. I
to see Zion. Since we only had 3,000 in build. Oh, there he is again. Another nice steal. He's going to take it, throw another one down.
He doesn't look like he's any more in shape than he was a few months ago. I just think that that's going to be the biggest knock in his career. The talent is there, but his weight is a huge factor. It's bad for his knees. It's bad for his ankles. As we've seen, it's caused him a lot of injury, and he seems to be a player. And there are players like this. Charles Barkley infamously was one of them who struggles with his weight. And Charles Barkley even said, and he speaks about this all the time, that he had to seriously take his nutrition and his diet and his workouts drastically seriously to go ahead and change the trajectory of his career. I've yet to see that discipline from Zion. And until that discipline is there, the question mark of Zion being a superstar or returning even to a fraction of the superstar that we saw in spurts is still there for me. I don't know if he even wants to be in New Orleans. I know that the Pelicans are a drastically better team with him on the court. I know the NBA is better with him on the court. I don't know his level of commitment to the New Orleans Pelicans. I don't know his level of commitment to his own diet and nutrition. I don't know any of that. So, for me, that's the biggest question mark.
But here's my thing with this, Ashley and B. I don't really understand that conversation. I hear everybody, but God made everybody differently. This dude is a football player.
He didn't look like this when he came into the league, though. And remember,
can we see the befores or something? Can I see that?
We can't use his age because he's not it's not like he came into the league at 19 and now we're talking about him at 32. He's still very, very young. You should be in the best shape of your life right now.
Right, and I'm not doing that, but my thing is what we do know is he's at that age now where your body changes, your metabolism changes, and meaning he's putting on that grown man weight.
You should feel like he's a husky guy.
But if you go back to him in high school and at Duke, he always looked like a football player.
Yeah,
he always had that. So I need to see it. You know what I mean?
Because he was a lot more. What's the word? He was more ripped.
Well, I want to see it, and I think there is a big difference.
There's a drastic difference
for sure. But my thing is, what makes Zion a freak is that he's built like this and moving like this still. Like I always say, Zion is like he's like a damn Shaquille. He's in a damn. He's like Shaquille O'Neal, James Harden, all in one.
Yeah, but even Shaquille O'Neal, especially when he got to Miami has the toughest conditioning program in the NBA. Pat Riley basically said, "Get your fat ass in shape." Mm-hmm. Like that's the nicest way I can put it. That's that's a story Shaq will tell you. And Zion has always been big and built a certain type of way, yes, but because that is his body type, he has to be extra careful about teetering that line. He walks that line. Yeah. And he needs to go ahead and figure out how to get back, not only for his own health, but for the longevity in his career. Cool. All he is going to do is continually sustain injuries if he does not know how to take this weight and turn it into muscle and not fat.
I think
that's really what it comes down to.
It might be too late because players, we get stuck in our ways. Yeah. What is this, year 5 for Zion? Maybe somewhere around there.
I mean, he hasn't really played.
But if he hasn't done it now, what's going to be that light switch for him to just say, I'm going to do it going forward?
That's the thing, and that's for me. When we talk about returning to superstar status, that's the biggest question mark. Is you can't. It gets to a point where this isn't college. You know what I mean? This isn't AAU. Like, you're a grown man. And honestly, it should be easier because in the NBA, you have everything you could desire at your disposal. The fact that he is still having these issues just is now more of a lack of motivation. I mean, look at the difference in size.
I'm like, B, I don't know. I think this is what makes him great. Having that mass and getting in that post and getting.
He's overweight.
He ate a couple bowls of gumbo for sure. But my thing is this, Ashley. This is the best way to describe my confusion around this. Odell Beckham Jr. is a freak when it comes to working out and training, but he's riddled with injuries.
That's just being injury prone, but you're not helping yourself by being overweight.
But he's in shape. There's a lot of athletes that we can. Paul George, CP3.
That's just
they're in great shape. They take care of themselves, but they're still injured.
Right, but that's just being injury prone. But you're not helping the fact if he is injury prone, you don't know that because all of his injuries have to do with the fact that his body is holding too much weight. Right. Now, if he gets back to
we don't know that.
If he gets back to where he should be and he's still injury prone, that's a different conversation. Right. But you can't make that assessment right now. He's not doing himself any favors. Okay. But we're going to keep it in the basketball conversation. We're going to talk a little bit LeBron James. Now, there's some controversies surrounding LeBron, isn't there always? During the Lakers preseason game against the Warriors last Friday, LeBron played the first half, but then came out during the second half in street clothes while eating dinner on the bench. We have the photos of that. Now, Laker legend Michael Cooper blasted King James for this move, saying you gotta, quote, have respect for the game. Should we have a problem with LeBron James eating on the bench?
I don't know if it's an unwritten rule in basketball that you shouldn't do this type of thing because, B, we eat during the games. Like, we eat oranges on the sideline. We might sneak a hot dog from halftime. We'll eat it on the sideline. So the eye is like
peanut butter jelly.
Yeah, we eat everything on the sideline. We just don't get caught as much because we have so many players, the game going on. You can't get caught if you just put your head down. But in a basketball arena, and if you LeBron James, they go just jock your every move. So I don't know if that's an unwritten rule for basketball, but for us NFL players, we eat on the sidelines all the time.
A couple things to this for me. First off, Laker legend, who is this dude?
Michael Cooper.
Does it matter? Who's Michael Cooper? Have you be honest? Be honest, B. Have you heard of Michael Cooper before?
Nah, but he got legend behind his name, so he gotta be.
But that's what I'm saying. Like your opinion don't matter, bruh. Like, come on, why are we having this conversation? But I can, if I'm a nitpick LeBron, I think the problem could be is like you're not dressed. Because I don't have a problem with any athletes that's dressed out and playing, eating, right? Because you know this, B. There's times where you feel like you don't have energy. And when you see like the quarterback for the Jets, Mark Sanchez, that was a legendary moment where he's eating a hot dog on the sideline. People looking at him like he's crazy, but it's like, yo, he needed that get fuel right then. So I can understand an athlete that's active eating whatever they need to eat to feel like they have the energy. I think the problem, if I'm nitpicking here, is that he's just dressed out and he's like a consumer of the game and he's just like too casual with it. But like at the end of the day, I don't know who this guy is, and it's LeBron James. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
First of all, you guys are disrespectful to Michael Cooper. Okay?
I'm about to Google Michael Cooper.
The disrespect is crazy right now. Michael, I do not share those sentiments. That's all Brandon Marshall.
Michael Cooper Jr.? There he is.
I do not share the same sentiments as this man. Do not put me in that category. That's just disrespectful. That's Lakers legend Michael Cooper.
What he did?
Oh my God!
Let me see.
Go ahead and research and Google and educate yourself.
Stats.
For me, like
he averaged his last year with the Lakers. He averaged that's minutes. Points, 2 points and 79. He averaged 8 points a year before, 9, 11, 7, 9, 8, 9, 10, 8, 7, 6. Your opinion doesn't matter.
Okay, like I said, that's Laker Nation. You come for this guy. Leave us out of it.
Michael Cooper.
Be for real. Are we being for real right now?
Look at the stats.
I'm not talking about that, Brandon. I'm not having this argument with you.
Okay, go.
Are we being for real right now? It's preseason. He's not eating on the sidelines of the Olympic Games. It is preseason. This does not matter. It doesn't mean anything. He wasn't going to play a full game anyway. Stop nitpicking. It's weird. I get it. It's been a long off season. We're all trying to find little things. It's the preseason overreactions. It's fruit. He's not having a 5-course meal. It's LeBron James. It's preseason. Nobody cares. It doesn't count. It's not going to win you a ring. It's not going to knock you out of the playoffs. Who gives a damn? It's fruit. Move on. Why are you watching him and not watching the game to begin with? If it's so important, you put so much emphasis on the fact that, oh my God, he's eating on the sidelines. How dare he? The disrespect for the game. Well, you watching him eat instead of watching the people on the court play. So who's really the loser in the conversation here? Move on. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
So I just did a quick search, Ashley, and I'm with you there. Well, he is here. I just did the top all-time great Lakers.
And you still on Michael Cooper right now?
So apologize.
He's up there. He's under Gail Goodrich, whoever that is. No, I'm saying no disrespect because the guys who paved the way for us as athletes, salute to them. But like, if this was like, Kareem or Magic, it'd be a story. But I
feel like everybody in this Lakers franchise, like they not feeling Bron over there, man. It's really? Almost like everything he does is almost like, yeah, well, it's this. Or, yeah, well, it's that. It's almost like with his superstar status, the way he came into L.A., it's almost like they felt threatened. Like they're talking about hanging his jersey in the rafters, and he only got one championship, and he only been there a certain amount of years. It's like everything he does, it's not the fans. It's always somebody in that organization that's pointing the finger, got something to say about LeBron, man. And that been his whole career, but usually it's not with his franchise. So I just wonder where all this kind of, it's not disrespect, but just that, I don't know, it rubs them the wrong way in LA.
We've seen players eat on the sideline. The infamous meme of Russ, like, going like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why is this a problem?
It's not that deep. It's not that complex. The man was hungry. It's a bowl of fruit this big. We're all going to be okay. Russ was on the sidelines in street clothes also going like this. We've seen players mid-game take a nacho from someone in the stands and eat it. We've seen players eat popcorn on the stands. We've seen players eat candy on the sidelines. Who gives a damn? It's preseason.
Ashley,
this is ridiculous that we're even having this conversation.
I know what we need to do, and I just need you guys. I'm going to say it, then Ashley's going to say it, and then B, hopefully you can participate. Let's all look into our camera and say these words, recite these words. Let's normalize players eating on the sideline.
Oh, let's normalize players eat. Oh, go. Wait.
All right, let's start over again. We need to normalize players eating on the sideline.
Normalize players eating on the sideline.
I agree with this campaign. Let's normalize players eating on the sideline.
Not that deep. Sometimes you hungry. Nobody gives a damn. Listen, We will be right back with more Paper Route. We're going to dive into some NFL beef. I know these guys can't wait to go ahead and talk about that. Brandon Marshall's no stranger to NFL beef. This is right up his alley. This in real estate, right up his alley. We'll be right back after this.
Listen, when I think of you, I think of a pioneer in the direct relationship between hip-hop and sports. I mean, I go back to the Allen Iverson commercial, Reebok. I feel like that was the jumpstart of that relationship in terms of the business aspect. Obviously, hip-hop artists were always rocking with athletes, and athletes were always rocking with hip-hop artists, but it was the first time we saw it on the screen like that. It was the first time we saw it in a commercial revenue space. And now fast forward, you see Lil Baby and John Morant recreated that for beats. I mean, go back to that moment with AI. You said that AI, you know, brought the hood to basketball essentially. What was that like?
I think me growing up, I played all sport. I played basketball, football, baseball. So he was just Allen Iverson was, I could remember sitting in my man's living room watching his Georgetown, watching him play in Georgetown. So I was already a huge fan of his. So when they brought the opportunity to me, shout out to Steve Stout, shout out to Trackmasters, Rough Riders, everybody that, brought the opportunity. It was like coming here on the show. I'm like, word, he want to sit down with me to talk about doing the spot. So once I met him, he was super down to earth. He was ecstatic. He like, yo, you one of my favorite rappers. I want to do this. We gonna do it. Got the beat, made it happen. I didn't know right then that it would be a timeless commercial spot that opened up, kind of paved the way for everything that came after that. 50 Cent, G-Unit, and Hove, the S. Carters, and all of that came after that. So for me to be able to do that initial commercial with Allen was an honor.
I always knew exactly what I wanted to do. So you're gonna get told no a lot. Wow. Sometimes it's not even gonna be no. It's like, we're not even listening to this. Like, this is not even an option for you. Yeah, like, this is not even an option for you. You're not good enough. We don't do that. The opportunity's not there. You don't know how hard this is. I've been literally told I don't know how hard it is to do a daily show while I was working on a daily show. I'm like, you mean the show I currently work on? I don't know how hard it is to do that. The same meeting I'm in every day, the same wake up call, same time. How would I not know how hard it is to do the show I work on? You have to constantly reaffirm that you are good enough, that you belong there, and then always prove it. So I would just always say you gotta do twice the work to get half the opportunity. But that, to me, the mentality I've always had on it is that just gonna make me better. So that's why I'm excellent. Because I had to be. I couldn't be average, I couldn't be okay, I couldn't be late, I couldn't complain, I couldn't say no. Now I do. Right. But you have to do that because you can't give people the opportunity to doubt you. So that, I think, is what the sacrifice is. It's a lot of pride sacrifice. You got to eat a lot of you got to listen to a lot of jokes. You got to ignore little comments, little microaggressions.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Brandon, we're back.
We are back. And I'm back. And somebody in the chat said, go wash your hands. I did not go to the bathroom. And it's B, you weren't on our show. It's it depends on the situation. Like if we're doing this right here and we got 2-minute break and I got to go to the bathroom really bad, but it may take me 90 seconds and then I got 30 seconds to get back and get situated, I may not wash my hands. Does that bother you yesterday?
That bothers me. Yeah.
Oh, let's dive into this since Brandon opened the door. We've had conversations about hygiene. Brandon has taken his fingernails off with his teeth and then said he's used his fingernail to as a toothpick. Is that gross?
That is gross, but I can't say you too gross because I bite my fingernails too, so they're already in your mouth.
Thank you.
If you think about it. But I'm not going to use it as a toothpick, though.
He
That's kind of like.
said that he had. Didn't you say that you used to pee in your football uniform?
No, that's not me. B
People
might
do.
have.
No, I haven't. People do it. Nah, that's not. Nah.
You never peed in your.
No, just tell the trainers to put a towel behind you, and you just kneel by the Gatorade cooler, and then that's where you.
But we're talking about You're
Like in
you
the
take
game.
like that's what
that's
we do.
game.
Normal
Yeah,
people.
that's
We're talking about pee. Like, don't do that. Just sit on the bench and just pee.
No, like you won't warm pee on you. Like no,
You've never
I
seen
don't
a
get
teammate
it.
do that.
No, I seen like linemen do it all the time, but
Oh,
they
yeah.
linemen, bro.
Yeah.
Like they a whole different
Ew!
species.
Why did I just go to the bathroom?
And then here's another thing, Ashley. Who's your favorite quarterback?
Dak Prescott.
All right.
Don't tell me nothing nasty about that, because then I'm not gonna be able to. Look at him
After
the same way.
practice, would you smell the back of his hand?
Smell the back of his hand.
If I give you $1,000 to go like this for 5 seconds, would you do it? $1,000.
No, because it's why.
5,000.
Why
It's
would
just a back of hand like this.
You wouldn't smell the back of a hand for $1,000?
for five? I mean, I guess, but now I just feel like I shouldn't. Why? What's wrong with the back?
Come
of his
on,
hand?
just would you
Okay,
do it?
yes. What's wrong with the back of his hand?
That back of that hand been on that center's ass for 3 hours. It is so stinky.
dropped.
Yo, it's so like
How would you know what the back of the hand smells like?
because like I mean we're just out there every single day. So like Jay,
So were you
like,
telling Jay Cutler's back of his
No,
hand?
so like that's how I realized it was a situation. One day in practice, Jay had like multiple shorts on the sideline for our center Roberto Garza, and so I'm like, what the hell's going on? He was making Roberto Garza change his shorts in practice like every 30, 45 minutes because his ass stink.
I would
Right?
never thought about that.
Yeah, you got to think that. Right. Nobody does. But as that presser, that's a great question for y'all favorite quarterback. You see him like, hey, man, how does your hand smell after practice or a game?
Well, and I say all this because Brandon does not wash his hands after he pees.
That's insane.
No,
You're
that's
giving
not-
everybody like all types of germs. Like I just dapped you up when I came in here. Now I'm like,
No,
looking
I
for-
wash my hands. Like I'm talking about like if boom, we got to go to the bathroom right now. I got to rush to get back on set. I don't got time to
Yeah,
wash
and
my
if somebody
hands.
walk in the room like, "What's up, B?" You not go withhold your dap.
Don't shake my hand once the show start. If I leave and go to the bathroom.
You just touched my hand.
But I didn't go to the bathroom today. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we pounding it out for now.
Alrighty, here we go, folks. We're gonna dive into some NFL beef.
Ooh.
Some serious drama is going down between CJ Gardner-Johnson and Deebo Samuel. The two have been beefing on Twitter about Deebo's toughness or lack thereof. And then CJ actually took it to another level and went on Instagram Live. Roll the clip.
Don't be friendly when you see me. Cause you be so flashy. You better hope, bro. You better hope all that talking you be doing when we see y'all, whatever round it may be. Cause I can guard you. You can't run routes. You're a running back. You're a running back. And I ain't gonna sit here and play with you, little boy. Just cause you got a little bag, people gave you a little clout, man, you ain't nothing, bro. Stop.
He wasn't the guy.
All right. He said, if you guys couldn't hear that, he said, quote, "Don't be friendly when you see me, because you be so flashy. You better hope all that talk you've been doing, because I can guard you. You can't run routes. You're a running back. I'm not going to sit here and play with you, little boy." How was that? Was that good?
Yeah, you nailed it.
I nailed it?
Yeah.
You did good.
Did I get that?
I was like, yeah, I see it. You nailed it.
You got to hit the little boy.
You nailed it. Man.
Guys beefing is so funny to me. Y'all call each other little boys and stuff like that. Girls just be like going for the jugular. Y'all be like,
We be playing around,
y'all be
beating around the
joking
bush.
around.
Yeah.
Little boy.
So this is what I would say here. This beef goes back. Ashley, we were a part of the beef. You don't even recall.
We were part of the beef at Super Bowl.
thank you.
And that's why Deebo got the beef. Well, not for me, but for y'all.
Right. So, long story short, last year we activated Radio Row B, and we had just the who's who coming in and out of our activation. Right. We did some stuff with TikTok. We did some stuff with Sleep Number, and actually with Sleep Number we had Deebo come join us. Right. And during that time, Deebo just like. It was interesting. It was like what we want our athletes to be is honest and give their true thoughts, but it's counterculture to how we're kind of trained, right? Like you don't really go out there and talk like this. When we were playing, if it was real beef, we do that, but we're seeing a lot of this now where guys are just just going at it, right? And so Deebo came on and he just called out the entire Eagles secondary, right? And so now obviously he's with the Lions, but he called out the entire Eagles secondary, and it turned into this whole thing. It went viral, and he actually got mad at me too. So, but
don't say two, because he not mad at me.
Well, he got mad. Well, I'm saying he got mad at me, right? And he's like, you wonder why it took so long for me to come on your show.
Just so you know, B-Flow, like, I always get excused from the beef and the animosity.
Yeah.
Like, they never have it for me. It's always for Brand. Now that you're here, maybe you'll take some
of it. No, it's never.
But it's never for me.
I know how to smooth the situation. It's cool. I'm
on
board now. I'm smoothing every situation.
We have Colin Kaepernick on the show, right? We have an amazing conversation. And then Pac-Man get hit up by TMZ a week later in LA, getting off of a plane, and he says something like disagreeing with Cap. Cap calls me. He's pissed off at me. We had other ideas we wanted to talk through. I haven't heard from Cap since then, right? Deebo gets mad at me because he said what he said.
Yeah.
And the social media team put it out there. He called me snapping. I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, bro. Like, we'll fix it, but like that wasn't our intention. But you said it. Yeah. Why are you mad at me? You said it. So
Jalen Ramsey,
well, we brought on we bring a doctor on to talk about his injury. Jalen Ramsey gets mad at me.
Oh, you on a list, huh?
Oh, I'm on a let's keep going. Dak Prescott, what's his name? Shady McCoy, he said something on Fox. He said something on Fox, right?
I remember.
And Dak get mad at me, guilty for association. Well, he ain't get mad at me. Dak was just like, nah, like I got my boundaries. There's some people I sit down with, some people I don't. But he's real particular there. I like Dak a lot, but yeah, bro, it's real beef. Like athletes, we sensitive.
Yeah, I mean,
we sensitive.
It come with the territory, but with these two, man, I love it because they both tough football players, right? You see by Deebo's style of play, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he always just been about the smoke, right? Like he ain't backing down from nothing. He asked the whole fan base to wear ski masks to the game, which I knew they wasn't. Like he was tripping, but that's just his vibe, right? And we have this talk when we talk to players face to face in pregame. Like we'll have these talks during pregame. Right. It's just now hitting social media. So when it hits social media, it kind of hits you a certain way because everybody else get to chime in and they make you snap back a little bit more because you're just getting so many different influences. Like, yo, I know you got 24 hours to respond. Yeah. Like how many times we seen that when you didn't even feel like it was too much said. But nah, I love it. I love the talk between these two.
I feel like CJ tried it though because everybody knows Deebo was more than a running back.
I
mean,
no.
That's his style of play.
Come on, we gonna sit here and say that he's not more than a running back.
Hold on. And I'm gonna give you. I'm doing this because
I don't know.
I'm doing this because it was like a Steve Smith. What's his name? Jerry Jeudy beef type thing, right? Where I went up to he felt how he felt, and then behind the scenes I'm texting him like, "Yo, bro, I'm sorry. Like I didn't. That's not my job."
About?
Deebo Samuel.
Oh, okay.
And when he texted me, and when I'm doing my Steve Smith, when he texted me, when he said, y'all took the high road, y'all have been proud of me.
He said, I don't F with you, basically.
Yeah, it was like, boom.
Now it's the PG version.
So now that we here, and if we really want to talk, because I don't like having these type of conversations, but if we're going to be 100% honest, though, is he a top 5 wide receiver?
I wouldn't give him top 5.
Is he a top 5 receiver?
But listen, you gotta let me respond.
Okay, go ahead.
He's not a top 5 receiver.
Is he a top 10 receiver?
You can say so because of how they use him. Yeah,
he's an athlete. He's not a dual threat.
He's an athlete, and
but that's not a knock. But that's not a knock. You can't put him in a category of a receiver if he is an athlete.
So C.J. Gardner's right then.
He's wrong.
How is he wrong?
Because you sat up here and said you're a running back. You're just a running back. You can't run routes. We can see that that's not true. Maybe he can't run a route like a Justin Jefferson or a Devontae Adams, but we're not going to sit up here and say that this man isn't a dual threat, that the way that the 49ers utilize him in multiple aspects is a typical running back. He's just a running back.
He came in the league in 2000. That's not true. He came in the league in 2019, and everybody can do this, and I'll let you finish, because I want to hear your thoughts as a defender, right? He's not top 5. He's not top 10. And potentially not even top 15, but he is potentially top 50 from a player's perspective in NFL. He is dynamic. He is like that. But what C.J. Gardner's saying is going out there's no smoke. Like you want to come out here on this island, this one-on-one. I think the best corners is going to get the best of Deebo in that way. But Kyle Shanahan knows what he is, and he puts him in position to be elite and be great. It's not a knock on Deebo Samuel, but when you come in just from a receiver standpoint, 2019 had 800 yards. 2020 followed that up by 390 yards. Then 1,400 yards, his greatest season, and that was the year where he started negotiating his contract. Why did it take so long for them to get the deal? Because they were like, yo, we can't give you wide receiver money. He ended up forcing them because they need him, and they did the right thing by paying him his value from a player's perspective. And then the last 2 years, last year he had 630 yards as a receiver. That's a number 3 receiver on good teams.
So I agree with what you said, right? He's an athlete. He's a playmaker. So the only thing I disagree with is you can't put him in the receiver category if you know that, right? So like you said, if you're a top corner, if you're a corner and you coming out, you have Deebo on the island, just running routes, he's not going to keep you up at night, the night before watching extra film.
Right.
But that's not what makes him special. When he getting them screens, when he coming in the backfield, getting them tosses, I think that's what makes him unique. It's not another Deebo Samuels in the NFL, and he shouldn't take what C.J. Johnson said as a knock. But just look at it like, yo, I'm unique. Can't nobody do what I do. That's how you feel about my game, but can't nobody do what I do. So label it as how you want.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is C.J. Gardner was right in his assessment. That's all I'm saying, because I agree with that. Yes, he was. He said you're not a receiver.
But he is. But he's a receiver and a running back.
He said you're not like that.
No, you said, because I can guard you, you can't run routes, you're a running back. Sitting here and saying you can't run routes, you're a running back.
He can run route. He can run route.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're trying to compartmentalize him as just a running back, and whether you like Deebo Samuel or not, you cannot ignore the fact that he's a dual threat. He's a playmaker. He's more than just a running back. So like if you gonna throw some smoke, here's my thing about throwing smoke.
I wasn't a route runner.
Y'all both right.
Here's my thing about beef, though. Like, if you gonna beef with me and you gonna throw shots my way, make sure that they're accurate.
That's accurate.
That's not accurate. You're just a running back. That's not true.
Y'all both right.
You're talking about being facts, hard facts. What he's saying is
he's like this
you're
much
not
right.
a really good, like just going out on an island and it's like mono. You got to run a whole route tree.
You're not a top 10
I'm probably going to take C.J. Gardner.
But you not being able to run routes doesn't mean you're just a running back, because we have seen him we have seen him in situations where he's been utilized as more than a running back and he's been successful. All I'm saying is him not being able to run routes doesn't mean he's just a running back. He's more than a running back. He's a dual threat. He's a playmaker. Like, it's not an accurate diss. That's all I'm saying. Okay. It's just not accurate.
So B, you think you would list him as just a running back?
No, I think he should embrace this. I think he lists himself as player. Like, I would call myself player.
That ain't enough on it though, because he kind of feel like he got a special asset. So if you go put player, you got to put playmaker. Like,
okay, you can put yes. I like that
because he's before Christian McCaffrey came, he was their offense, right? So you got to give him some jug because you give it to him on screens. He will break a dig route off, and he'll break 2 tackles, and he will score.
Facts.
So in his mind, his concept is like, I scored running digs, and I scored catching back shoulder fade. So don't take the receiver off me. I understand what Gardner Johnson is saying, and what you're saying is, if you say who's your top 10, like just route runners.
No, top 10 wide receivers. I'm saying wide receiver. But you can, if you want to go that, you can go there too.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't a route runner, but I still was top 5 in my prime. I still was top 10 most of my career.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I think when we say receiver, we put him in a box. I think he's just that one player in the NFL that's outside of the box. Right. So I just feel like you can't even put him in that box because you're doing a disservice of putting him in that box of just a wide receiver.
Right.
Well, listen, beef. Good for the NFL.
Great.
Bad for the NFL.
Great for beef flow.
Brandon.
It's great for the NFL. It's great for the NFL. It's great for the NFL. It's great. I mean, this is difficult because, like, the type of beef that I like when I say it's great, I like the entertainment side. Mm-hmm. I don't like the us tearing each other down side. Mm-hmm. You understand? So, like, this is borderline. You know,
how's this borderline though?
Because, like, you hear what Deebo said. He said, "See me off the field." Okay, and then C.J. Gardner he played it down a little bit, but he said the same thing. He said the same thing, but then played it down a little bit by getting into the football stuff. That to me, that's real.
Because like now I get what you're saying.
So I said it, B. Now we both live in South Florida in the off season. me and you don't go out like that. But like, what if I see you at Live nightclub and after we didn't have this exchange, what's happening?
Yeah, don't need to go there. I agree.
Or
That's true.
the 5-6 guys that you with, the 5-6 guys I'm with. You know what I'm saying? But I like the trash talk. I like the going back and forth, but friendly. But now when we step off the field, boom, let's just get back to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I agree.
What is your biggest NFL beef that you had?
Mine was internal. Jay Cutler. Mine was Jay Cutler, my own quarterback, the second half of my career.
Like actual beef. Like was it UTO?
Joey Porter, pull that up for me, Woo. Maybe we can play that in the second half of the show. Nah, like it was real. And it was the same situation. Like we went out there, he said what he said. It was on some field. I feel like Joey went too far with his trash talking. He's legendary for that, which is interesting. Like, a couple years later, I ended up renting this house when I got traded to the Miami Dolphins.
Maybe you put the voodoo
but what
on
ended up
it.
happening was we had this real beef publicly, and then we get to the Pro Bowl. We're out in Hawaii. It's tension.
How you had tension in Hawaii?
Because like we just came off of stuff like this.
During the season,
we came off of something like this,
It
and
be
now we
beef
there.
there.
And now I'm like in this position where it's like it's up when I see him. Before we can even get there, you had like Peyton Manning and Ray Lewis and all those dudes. We're out there at stretch. And they was like, Joey, you and B-Mar straight? Because what B-Mar said, what I said was like, bro, you be the dude in the nightclub taking your shirt off and dancing around in the middle of the dance floor. I'm talking trash like that. The night before, he was in the middle of the nightclub with his shirt off doing it in Hawaii. And so the guys start calling him out. And that eased it, right? Because then everybody started laughing. Then me and him start laughing. And literally like a year later, I start renting his crib.
What about you?
I didn't have a beef with a specific player. It just, I kind of beef just during the game. It ain't never turned into after the game. We making comments. Like, it's just during the game type vibes. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't got the energy. I don't care that much about it to beef with you. Like, it's
all right, here we go. Listen, get into some quick reads here. We're gonna dive back into basketball for a second.
Yes. Come to me. I'm the expert.
We got
a
hilarious clip from the Dallas Mavericks that I actually told Brian that I want to do this on set with us three because this actually is very, very funny. Do we have the remote though so that we can hear? Okay, cool. So go ahead and play this clip. It's called the Whisper Challenge, basically. Where you have headphones and just run this.
I'm Batman. I saw Miley Cyrus, but that ain't it. Say it again.
Call of Duty.
Long Island iced tea.
Call me maybe.
Almond baby.
Let me see your ink.
Orange juice.
Are you reading?
Are you ready?
Missy Drake.
Shoot the tray.
Bad Bunny.
Maxi Cleaver.
Bad Bunny.
Maxi.
They weren't even
First
close.
of all, Luca said Long Island iced tea with so much conviction in his chest.
How he know what Long Island iced tea is?
Luca's a partier. Luca be drinking. I saw him at the Miami Open one time. He was like, he had the double beers or whatever. That's just like,
He was living.
yeah, he was catching a vibe. But yeah, it was actually that's
I
just
like that.
that's just
Nah,
Call
that's
of Duty, Long Island iced tea. So I told Brian like I want to do that with us. Like we give each other words, and we can see who like can do it. Like I feel like I'll win because I'm a really good lip reader.
I might have my headphones right there. Let's do it now.
You know, I'm an analyzer. I analyze everything. I'm
Oh my
gonna
gosh,
win this
Brandon
easily.
wants to do it now. You
I'm
have
gonna
your
win this one
headphones?
easily.
They gotta be like Apple headphones though. Oh my gosh.
But we got to get the same kind of whispers that we all can get the same gauge. So we got to have a producer come in and sit on the couch. Like I might can give it away with the way I'm saying.
I feel
the
like
word.
but I have to be able to like you gotta play music so I can't hear.
Oh, okay.
And then you gotta give me a word.
All right, I'm gonna play some music. What you want to listen to?
I don't
What y'all
know.
think is in my playlist right now? Rumors featuring Little Dirt. I'm gonna put some ratchet stuff on for you. Can you hear it?
Okay.
You can hear it?
All
All
right.
right, B, you want to give her the first word?
Okay, give me a word. I can't hear a thing.
Yeah, it's loud. Go ahead. You gotta look at her.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, I'm gonna go with. This is harder than I thought. I can't even think of a word. Go ahead. You
Okay,
I
give
can't
me a
even think of a word.
All right. Ashley is high maintenance. Ashley
Ashley
is high maintenance.
Ashley is high maintenance.
You can't do it again. You gave it away. You gave it away the second time.
But I was like, I was trying to give it to her.
You gotta do it naturally.
Yeah,
okay.
All right. Italian ice.
These nuts? What did you say?
Italian ice.
I thought he said these nuts.
Yeah.
Okay. We gotta do this like for real. We gotta do like a whole segment of this. It's actually very, very fun seeing. Yeah, but yeah, that's just, I love seeing those videos because people get them so drastically wrong. Like I just did right now, Italian ice, these nuts. I could have sworn you said these nuts.
Why would I do this? Were you shocked that I had my headphones right there?
I actually was.
Yeah.
That was like very clutch. But
I
yeah, Brian, I need you to go ahead and put a segment in a show. Or
Nagin can do it. We'll pre-record it. We'll
pre-record it. Yes, we can do that. It would be really, really cool.
We'll do it
the
Thursday.
chat is cracking up that I said these nuts. That's the most New York answer I could have given. All right, listen, we're gonna go ahead. The Jazz make a big Air Jordan design fail, by the way. So, check this out. Check out this shirt that was recently pulled from the Jazz team store because of fan backlash. Look at this. Now, it's the Air Jordan logo hovering over the Utah Jazz logo, or team name, rather. Now,
that's these nuts right there. You got these nuts.
It's interesting because Jordan took down the Jazz not once, but twice in the NBA Finals. So talk about bad history revision here. First of all, the shirt's ugly.
Terrible.
Who thought that was a good idea, though? Like, people don't understand. It's like, some fans, they days, they years, they life are made off how their sports teams are doing. Like, if their fans are getting hunted by Michael Jordan, they don't even want to see Michael Jordan. They don't want to see him golfing. They don't want to see him on a yacht.
Shout out to Knicks fans.
So to walk in their team store and have Jordan, just that whole just reminder of just what, Bill Russell? What was Russell's first name? That he crossed over, pushed him in the back, hit him with a B flow. Well, it's slower than B flow crossover. He kind of gave him a little crossover step
You're
back.
saying who was the guy?
Yeah.
Who was the guy he did that to?
It was I remember his last name was Russell. I can't get his first name.
No,
it wasn't Bill Russell.
Dang, I know
Jordan when he played Utah.
That's one of his
in the
greatest
big
highlights.
Oh, yes.
Chat, who's his name, Chat?
Oh my God. Byron.
Russell.
Yes,
There you go.
Byron.
There you go.
But yeah, that's
basketball
forever.
expert.
You can't put Jordan in your stadium.
Byron
store.
Russell.
Yeah, it's just, first of all, it's ugly. It's just like out of control, just like disproportion. It's just gross. Utah is just like,
they miss it.
I've never been to Utah. I know the All-Star game was there last year. I skipped that one.
Utah kind of dope, low key.
You been to Utah?
Yeah.
What you like about Utah?
Yeah, let's dive into this. What do you like about Utah?
I'm first black person. Nah, like, you got to know where to go, how to vibe. Like, you got to know, every city you go in, you got to know the right people. So, nah, Utah
One of my good friends, Spider Mitchell, lived in Utah for a very long time, and it was not it. So
Spider, hit me up. I'm gonna introduce you to the people I know, and I'm gonna.
Everything
you might not know the right people.
There.
Hey, it's not about that. It's
you out there? You out there partying in the mountains with the mountain people?
Yeah.
Do you ski?
Drinking moonshine.
I do everything. Yeah, I ski.
Oh.
Do you snowboard or ski?
Speaking of snowboarding and skiing, when you logged off the show yesterday to go ahead and do your shoot.
Got hit by a car?
No. No. Yes, but no. We were on the topic of basketball, and B-Flow here says that his NBA comp is Kyrie Irving, and he would cook you one-on-one. And I said, we got to get this on paper route. I showed him your video.
Oh, you did?
And I told him that you're a great free throw, shooter.
You say
yes,
shooter.
I said free throw shooter.
No, say shooter.
But he said that you ain't got no movement, no lateral.
I seen the lateral movement.
It's just not there.
I'm gonna keep rocking you
Yeah,
like
look,
this,
look.
and then I'm gonna bring it back. I'm telling you, it's not you, it's me. Like, it's not too many that can like stay in front of me. So don't take this personal, B. It's like, I can't think of too many that can keep up with me on the court.
He said the player comp of Kyrie Irving is him being, is downplaying his skill set.
Yeah, I was being humble.
He's being humble.
Wow.
Yeah.
So my player comp would be Carmelo, but play D like
he can score like that.
Kobe. Like that was I'm talking about when I see the movement.
Uh-huh.
I see it. I would say I would need a couple of weeks.
Did you just say Carmelo mixed with Kobe? Is that what you just said?
No, Kobe's defense. So offensively,
so Carmelo's game.
Offensively,
Kobe's
it was like that. How he played the game. That's how I played the game.
You're Joel Embiid.
But then his defense, Carmelo, you got to
you're Joel Embiid. You're Joel Embiid. You're Joel Embiid.
I'm telling you. Ask Amari Stoudemire. He'll tell you. I played with legends.
I believe you, bro.
But here's the thing. This is what I'll say. I believe you were really good. B is one of those people. That's why I asked him, like, do you ski? Do you snowboard? He's like, I do everything. He's that guy that literally probably does everything. He can hit a golf ball. He can hit a baseball. He's like Odell, but he's quiet with it. So I believe that. But I like me versus B. Ashley, I can understand why you feel like I'm Joel Embiid because you got me. Back when we did the Angel Reese thing, I was 260. I couldn't move. So yeah, that. But bro, I got moves, bro. We battled it out, B.
I understand that, but moving on the
little shiftiness.
Moving on the football field and basketball court is two totally different things.
I know, you're right.
Two totally different things. The angle's different. It's a whole different game.
B wasn't even worried about my movement on the field. He was just worrying like, damn, like B just 6'5". Yeah, he taller than me. He got to go.
And I don't know
what B, you gave me the most legendary. Anytime for years, anytime like people introduce me, they always quote you. Right? And still to this day, people quote me like when it comes to football.
Yeah.
You remember what you called me or what you said, back in the day? They asked you like who defined Brandon Marshall. What did you say?
You're a defensive player playing offense.
You called me a defensive lineman playing wide receiver or something like something like that. And people always quote that. So appreciate that.
No, I got you. I'm gonna show love. I'm gonna be honest.
Cooking you one-on-one.
I know. But it's going right back to the smoke.
I keep trying to tell y'all, it's not just B. It's like maybe 2% in this world.
So why you didn't go to the NBA?
Because he said he was too short.
So when I was coming out, Chris Paul.
That's what he said.
I'm the same age as Chris Paul and those guys. Mm-hmm. So I didn't. AI was the only one, right? So I was just like, yo, I think my chances in football or baseball are gonna be better than basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have went to Ohio State and played both sports, but I don't know, for some reason I like VTech Visit. It was crazy. So when I went to VTech, I was like, I ain't gonna play for their basketball team. They wasn't really doing nothing there. You know what I'm saying? So
I would cook you.
Ashley,
if you say so, I ain't.
Ashley played. You know what she's good at? She's good at that cornhole game. She beat me in cornhole.
We can one-on-one and I would cook you. I would cook you in cornhole too.
You would not cook me in cornhole.
You know,
I would cook you in cornhole. Yo, can we have a paper route show where we just play different games for a segment? I will cook you in cornhole,
Field day.
beer pong, tennis.
Brainstar, we got room there.
Yo, I will.
What about ping pong?
Ping pong cooked. What else you want to do?
No, that's it. So listen, this is what I would say. This is I know we gotta get back on track here, but this is the beautiful thing about like having these type of spaces and having these conversations where we can just take time and just like, learn about each other, et cetera, et cetera. But like, bro, like there's so much to our athletes that we don't know and we don't see. You know what I mean? Just hearing that, like, yeah, I ski. Yeah, I play basketball. I could have went here. There's so many more stories that need to be told around our athletes. So, sorry, I just had a moment. I appreciate, getting to know our guys that we see as superheroes and have capes on 90% of the time.
Well, listen, we're going to talk a little tush push, brotherly shove, whatever you want to say it, call it. The Eagles' tush push, a.k.a. the brotherly shove, has gotten plenty of attention so far this season, but their division rival's owner, a.k.a. Jerry Jones, has no problem with it. On his weekly radio appearance, he said he actually likes the play and says there's a place in the game for it. Do you agree with that? Now, Dak Prescott, they did attempt this play in the game against the Chargers, and when asked why it didn't work, Dak said they didn't push my tush enough. So that was his answer. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles are the team that seems to have completely just mastered this play. I have not seen anybody do it nearly as successful as they have, which is why I think a lot of teams are upset by it. Like I said, the Dallas Cowboys tried it, didn't get the same results. But let me start with you, B-Flow, the tush push. How you feeling? Brotherly shove.
I'm with it. Just because every other team in the NFL, they haven't mastered it. Like Jerry Jones like it because he thought they'll be able to be successful on it. But as we've seen, it's harder than you think.
That was the most failed tush push I've ever seen.
Yeah. So just the fact that the Eagles are the only squad that can do it, I'm with it. When a whole NFL team, like the league does it, and then it's not even entertaining for a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, 4th and 2, then we got to get it out. But until then, hey, let's do it.
So, Ashley, earlier in the show, we talked about Aaron Rodgers, and we've been talking about him for a long time. He finds a way to keep himself in the media, and we want to keep him in the media. You are tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about the tush push. Like, the tush push, like, why are we still talking about the tush push? Why are so many people interested? Why is this an interesting topic? Like, everybody's talking about it. Can y'all tell me why this is interesting?
It's because it's so.
It looks like fun. I'm not gonna lie.
You can't stop it, and I think people get frustrated when they're playing the Eagles. Like, yo, this is a pivotal moment in the game. Like, but we can't stop it, and it's not fair that we don't have a chance. That's why I think every team they play, the fan base or the media outlet in that city, they go keep bringing it up. Like,
Right.
yo, this is where we're supposed to get our stop and make a score or go on a run, but we can't because this play is just unstoppable. So we go hear it until they make a final rule. Like, are we gonna ban it or we not banning it for sure?
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind a good tush push.
What is going on?
I'm just gonna look this way. I'm gonna just keep looking.
Yeah, right.
This way.
Yeah.
Just saying, every now and then a good tush push.
You ain't getting me.
I'm gonna look at this Jerry Jones, little weird little photo of Jerry Jones.
I didn't say. I just said I wouldn't mind a little tush push.
Why you gonna put us in this predicament? Like, don't even put us in this predicament.
What do you mean?
Like, we're talking about tush
Why
push.
can Dak get his tush push and I can't?
So I'm gonna take over hosting this show right now. The next topic.
Let's go. I want to do my job. Listen. All right, gonna go ahead and move on here. Now, on yesterday's show, we got into an interesting conversation about Aaron Rodgers and where he landed in terms of tiers of quarterbacks, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And we decided that we were going to go ahead and give Brandon Marshall an opportunity, or put him in the hot seat, rather, to go ahead and give us his all-time QB tier rankings. 3 tiers, who's going to make the cut? Go ahead, Brandon. Who we got? Let's dive into this. I'm excited. He's probably going to be a hot mess, but here we go.
So before we even show the graphic, whoa. Great debate the other day. Was it yesterday or was it Monday?
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Okay. So like Ashley said, we debated it, and it's like, does Patrick Mahomes deserve to be up there with Tom Brady? And I gave the best example and illustration of, how they can be on the same floor, but not necessarily in the same tax bracket, right?
Mm-hmm.
Penthouse, I stayed at, before Trump was Trump, stayed at the Trump Tower in Chicago. You had D Rose in the building. You had Steve Harvey living in the building. R. Kelly lived in the building. And they had the penthouses. But D Rose's penthouse was totally different than Steve Harvey's penthouse, right? So, the way we broke this down, okay, is we looked at it and said, okay, who's in the penthouse? Who's in the middle level? Like, I was at the mid level. I was in the mid level. I had a beautiful view. I could see the south side. No, I had a nice unit. I had a middle unit.
So is unit below duplex?
Yeah, you know what? Last night I was trying to play with that. I was like, I couldn't figure out all the terms. So what I went with was like penthouse, mid level, and then just in the building. Right? Like, there's some people just in the building. They don't got no view. They got nothing. Yeah. Right? So the way we broke this down is all-time great quarterbacks. Who's penthouse? Who's the best of the best and why? And then mid-level. And then there's just some guys that's just in the building. You're just in the building, but you're special. To get into some of these properties, you got to be somebody. Yeah. Okay? They got to approve of you. And then there's some other little interesting things that we threw because the building needs people, right? So let's look at it really quickly.
Throw that graphic up there, BC. Okay, penthouse, middle, in the building. Here we go.
I don't know how this is going to roll out, but I'm assuming that because we did it this way, it might just be penthouse. But if it is all 3, then I'll walk through it. Let's look at the penthouse right now. Who's in the penthouse? Who's in the penthouse? Throw that up.
Penthouse.
Joe Montana. How many Super Bowls Joe Montana got? Is it 4? I believe it's 4. So Joe Montana was special. Obviously, he had the great Bill Walsh, revolutionized the way we approach offense. He had Jerry Rice. He had so many other weapons. He had a crazy defense. How many Hall of Famers came from that era, from that team? So Joe Montana is the guy that one of our guys in the penthouse looked up to, said that I still don't know if I'm better than Joe Montana. So I got to put Joe Montana in the penthouse, but I don't think he has the biggest house on the floor. Another guy that's in the penthouse, some of you guys will challenge me here. I think B Flow challenged me yesterday, or it was Ashley that said, how can he be in the penthouse? He has how many Super Bowls, and he's still in the prime of his career. Patrick Mahomes can potentially go down as the greatest quarterback ever if he has maybe 2 more Super Bowls. I don't think he needs to surpass Tom Brady to become the best quarterback that our game has ever seen. He is like that, okay? And then the guy that looked up to Joe Montana and humbly always says, I don't think that I am better than Joe Montana. He is the guy. It's obviously Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady, obviously I think everybody would agree with me here that he's in the penthouse. This is the elite of the elite. And so Tom Brady is one of those guys that is not only one of the greatest athletes and competitors in football, but he's in all of sports. This dude is just different in how you think. Now let's go to, like the mid floors, right? Like when I was at the Trump Tower before Trump was Trump, I had a nice view. I could see the south side of Chicago. I had the lake. I had everything. It was beautiful. I had the skyline. I was happy to be in the building, but I wasn't sitting up there with Steve Harvey. I wasn't sitting up there with Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose pulling up, valet, throwing the keys out of a Wraith. That's when the Wraith was 400,000, B. So let's look at the mid level, okay? Here we go. First guy we got on this board is Brett Favre. I wanted to put an asterisk here because it's like, I don't believe in cancel culture, but damn, he's the first person who was like, him and R. Kelly was the first people like, I need to cancel y'all, okay? So, but Brett Favre, all-time list, he's like 4 or 5. Like Brett Favre was him. The only knock on Brett Favre was how he turned the ball over, but I like people like that. He's going for it. He's playing to, like right now we need it. So Brett Favre is in the building for sure. It shouldn't be no debate, but I can understand why people want to have an asterisk beside Brett Favre, but the body of work, tells a story for itself. Who else do we have here? Okay. We got Terry Bradshaw. Let's throw up the next one. Ooh. Let's go. I'm gonna talk to him. Boom. Throw up the next one. Terry Bradshaw. Aaron Rodgers. Throw up the next one. This is the guys that just like, man, they're right there. John Elway. Throw up the next one. Boom. Peyton Manning. Did I miss anybody? Before y'all go, think about it. Did I miss anybody? Peyton Manning. Like, I feel like, damn, like Peyton Manning was supposed to have more Super Bowls, but Peyton Manning, like he was the sheriff. Peyton Manning was just different. I don't know if we would ever see an operator at the quarterback position the way we saw Peyton Manning do it for years. John Elway is John Elway, 2 Super Bowls, legendary, and he has a story of how he changed the quarterback position. Aaron Rodgers underachieved his whole career for me because Aaron Rodgers should be up there in the penthouse, but he has 1 Super Bowl, and I don't think another Super Bowl would actually get him to the penthouse level. Terry Bradshaw, the reason why I put him here, because you got to respect the guys that came before, and he also has 4 Super Bowls. Terry Bradshaw is here, and there are some other people, quarterbacks, like, well, Brandon, why didn't you add him? He's right here, top 5 in this or top 5 in that, and then obviously we already talked about Brett Favre. The guys that are in the building. Let's look at the guys that are in the building, and this is where it's going to be a huge debate. Huge debate. Warren Moon. Why did I have Warren Moon there? Look at the all-time leading yards list. He's up there, and you will be surprised. Like Warren Moon was him, and also it was harder for the black quarterback. It was harder. So for these guys to, operate at this level when it's different, you got to respect it. Roger Staubach. Did I say that right? Roger Staubach or Staubach?
Staubach.
You like this. Don't you like this? Ashley like this. He was one of those guys, I got to be honest with you, it's just a salute and paying homage to the guys that paved the way for me and Brandon Flowers. But I didn't see his game. I just heard the stories, and you can see some of the footage, and it's hard for me to relate, but he is one of the GOATs. Oh, no, I can't say that. Let me take that back. Drew Brees, I feel like at one point he was breaking every single record. And Drew Brees, the way he operated, man, was this next level. Beautiful for Drew Brees and the things that he's done. Dan Marino, man, like Flash, man. We're talking about a guy that like just spread offense. He brought something different to the NFL. He's a guy that doesn't have a ring. If he won 2 or 3, he would be up there in the penthouse easily. In the building also, Russell Wilson, Mr. Dangerous himself, and I'm getting eyes. I know y'all can't see, but I got eyeballs on me in the studio right now. B is looking at me like, yo, what? Yo, 10 years in a row. The most winningest quarterback in the NFL. Most clutch. Look at the numbers. Russell Wilson, I know it's debatable, but through 10 years, He's in the building. Russell Wilson's in the building. There's 4 black quarterbacks that won the Super Bowl. He's one. Not Warren Moon. Patrick Mahomes is 3. Patrick Mahomes is 1. And then you also have Mr. Doug Williams. You know what they had to deal with to beat a black quarterback? And then also, here's a friendly thing. Let's show what else we got here. Throw them up there. I don't even know if we have. Do we have my other guys that's in the building? And then I'll pass it. Do we have our other guys? Throw it up there.
You got more guys in the building?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Do we have that, Jazz? Do we have that? Do we have that? Please, somebody tell me. I got a here we go. Here we go. Look at that. You got the manager, the property manager, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Okay, you got Ryan Fitzpatrick there. Valet, the guy who's valeting these guys' cars is Jay Cutler. Okay, and the janitor to clean up the shit is Josh McDaniels. This is your quarterback duplex condo building.
This list sucks. This list absolutely sucks. First of all, how the hell is Russell Wilson in the building? Where the hell's Troy Aikman? Russell Wilson doesn't have nearly as many Super Bowl rings as Troy Aikman.
I'll put Big Ben in before Russ.
Where the hell is Big Ben, Troy Aikman? I mean, the list. Where's Eli Manning? The list goes on and on.
Go ahead, keep going. I'll respond to this. Troy Aikman, go. Keep going. What else you got a problem with?
What puts Russell Wilson in the building before any of those guys that I just mentioned?
Okay, Troy Aikman, 4 Super Bowls, right?
3
Super Bowls. Why isn't he up there? I talked about what? And I sat with this. I talked about Joe Montana, all the Hall of Famers around him. Troy Aikman had more.
Did Russell Wilson not have
Troy
Hall of
Aikman
Famers?
had more.
I
respect Troy Aikman, but do you know what he had?
Doesn't
I can't put him up there. So if it came down to it, Troy Aikman.
Russell Wilson had the Legion of Boom.
Troy Aikman in his prime. Because remember yesterday how we got to this debate was like, all right, let's take the Super Bowls and this out of there. We got just guys, right? Like who's the best of the best? Troy Aikman in his prime, Russell Wilson in his prime. Who are we taking? You put Russell Wilson in that team.
You cannot tell me Russ led that team to a Super Bowl. You gonna say the Legion of Boom in that defense and them feeding Marshawn Lynch. You would never say Russell Wilson.
What I'm saying is I'm not saying Russell Wilson doesn't deserve to be in the building, but him being in the building without any of those guys also in the building is so egregiously disrespectful, Brandon. I get that's your boy, but like
this
come
not
on.
Biased. This is not biased.
This is so biased.
This is the general manager hat. This
Before
the owner.
Big Ben, before Troy
Big Ben,
Aikman,
you put Russell Wilson on that team with Mike Tomlin and Coach Cowher. They win more Super Bowls.
No way.
And how
That's
the heck
just the Legion of
do you
Boom.
have Bradshaw in the middle, but you're gonna dish Troy Aikman?
Troy Aikman was hard.
There's the same
So
scenario.
you're gonna tell me you'll take that's a hard one because Terry Bradshaw got 4 Super Bowls. He led the way. He threw a beautiful ball. It was hard. But like this is what we gotta ask ourselves.
Was that team not loaded?
Yes, they had that. Yes, but Terry Bradshaw was. I would say that he was the leader on that team. My question for you guys is this: all right, if you want to take Russell, like, if you want to take a guy out, okay, then I want y'all to think about it from this perspective. If you're a general manager, you're an owner, okay, who would you take? Not going off of how many Super Bowls they had, how many yards they threw for, because Big Ben, he's top 5 in most of these categories. Yeah. But are you taking Big Ben over Russell Wilson? Are you taking
in his prime? I'm definitely taking Big Ben over Russ.
I'm not, again, this is not a knock to Russell Wilson being in the building. I'm just confused how you have him in the building, but you don't have names like Eli Manning. You don't have Troy Aikman. You don't have Big Ben. Where are those guys? So and how are they not in the building but Russell Wilson is? Like what's the criteria?
Like Nick Wright say on FS1, the committee came together last night. You remember, Nick was like the committee
Nick
came
Wright.
together.
That's my guy, man. Shout out
he
to
has
Nick
the
Wright.
best pyramids and all of that.
Yeah,
I love
but
Nick.
one other problem I have.
Throw it back up there.
Just going to the penthouse, right? I still think Brady has his own room. In sports, we always have to have a great.
Right.
In basketball, why are we always debating who's the great? Michael Jordan? Is he at the top? Or is it LeBron? It's never Michael, LeBron, Magic. They all in the same penthouse. You got to have one. Well, I think Brady and his accolades and what he's done for the game, he has to be on a floor of his own. Like Ashley mentioned yesterday.
I agree. He's like in the presidential, like.
That's the only thing. The list isn't that bad. I wouldn't say it's that bad. The Russ got me, and it's just a Brady. I don't think he's in the same conversation as a Mahomes and a Montana just of what he's done.
It's a very difficult thing thanks, Nick, right, for me and the committee to sit down and look at all of this. And I'm showing Ashley.
Y'all argue this because
I'll
be right back.
Wash your hands, too.
I always do. I'm you.
So, B, this is what's hard about this, bro, because Ashley brought up Eli Manning, okay, 2 Super Bowls. But then when you look at the list, as far as like top 5 statistically, you got Ben Roethlisberger that's not on there. There's Phillip Rivers that's not up there, right? And then you want to go old school. What about Johnny Unitas? What about Steve Young, right? And obviously I don't have Troy Aikman there, 4 Super Bowls. It's very difficult. I'm looking at it as, all right, obviously the body of work, but just if that's the guy, like I'm sorry, bro, but if you put Russell Wilson with the Steelers, I think it's the same results, or not, probably even better. If you put Russell Wilson, in that with the Cowboys, they win maybe 4 Super Bowls. That's what I believe. Isn't that the same setup that he had in Seattle? So if we're going to knock, and this is another thing, if we're going to knock Russell Wilson,
I'm not knocking him.
No, I'm just saying, like, just generally, right? Like, he had Marshawn Lynch. He had the Legion of Boom. So we need to have the same energy when it comes to Steve Young and Troy Aikman and those guys?
But that's why I say Troy shouldn't have been off the list. You can't penalize them for having teammates help him because this is a complimentary game. Right? And I agree with Ash. It's not that he shouldn't have been on the list, but the fact that Aikman and I feel like Big Ben.
Can we throw that graphic back up there? You can leave that graphic up there.
Yeah, I feel like Big Ben should have been on the list. Prime Big Ben, he drove the Steelers to those championships. Like, it wasn't, he depended on Troy, Polamalu, and all those guys to just wreak havoc on the defensive side of the ball. It's like, nah, when Ben got the ball, he's slinging dudes off. He completing everything. He was legendary.
All right, so do this for me. I'm going to give you the list of guys right here, okay? Now, you tell me, what guys you would add and where would you put them, okay? So I'm going to go to all-time quarterbacks, all-time QBs. Here's the list right here, B. Here's 42 guys. Here you go. All right, let's throw that back up there. You can leave it up there, right? So we got Penthouse. We got, you're in the building, but you're mid-level. You feel really good about yourself and your career and everything you're doing. You're in the building. You're to be in the building, you're somebody. And then you have like people that needs to assist the people, right? Manager Ryan Fitzpatrick, very savvy, smart. He can keep everything in motion. So Ryan Fitzpatrick is the property manager, the valets. We need somebody to service the guys. Jay Cutler would be great at that. And then the janitor, Josh McDaniels, cleaning up all the shit. So, B, the names that I don't have there that you want on there, where are you putting them? And you don't have to take off guys. You can just add guys if you want to.
Your list is great. I'm just adding Steve Young.
Where?
In the building. In the building, I'm putting, Steve Young can go to the middle. I might put Steve Young in the middle, and I'm putting Big Ben in the building. That's the only thing. I don't think your list that bad.
Okay, but watch this. Now watch
Tom
this.
Brady.
Now watch this, though. You said Steve Young, and this is what I had to deal with last night when I'm looking at this. He's not top 20 when it comes to statistics, like yards.
Because they wasn't throwing the ball. Like, that wasn't his scheme. That wasn't his offense like when Steve Young came in. It just – sometimes you got to throw out the stats and just see how much of an asset and how he affected the game. He left Joe Montana when he came after Joe Montana when everybody thought, like, how can you replace this guy? Mm-hmm. He came in and did the same thing. So if Joe Montana is going to be in the penthouse, Steve Young came in and did the same exact thing Joe Montana did pretty much with that same team. So he has to be at least in the building.
Where's Troy Aikman?
Middle.
Yeah, I mean –
middle.
You got to put, for that 3P, you got to put him in the middle. That might not ever been done.
Google right now. Google, and we need a partnership with Google. We say Google all the time.
Last comments on this because we got to get to Pepsi.
Google all-time leading quarterbacks and see where Troy Aikman is.
I know he's not going to be there. There was a pro-style offense back then. They don't throw the ball to third down.
The general consensus, this building should be condemned. We're going to go ahead and reach out to the demolition crew to go ahead and get it knocked down. Andrew, no, we're not doing a commercial. You just text me asking me. We're not doing that. Brandon's terrible building kind of sucked up some time. So right now it is time for Andrew, get in here. Get in here. Because it is time for Yo Rookie, Pepsi Zero Sugar NFL Rookie of the Week. Now, here are the nominees for Week 6. The winner should have actually been announced about 30 minutes ago. So if we can get an update on who our winner was. But here were the Week 6 nominees. We had C.J. Stroud pass for 199 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Texans' Week 6 win. We had Baltimore Ravens wide receiver Zay Flowers, Las Vegas tight end Michael Mayer. We had Los Angeles Rams outside linebacker Byron Young, who we had the chance to speak to yesterday. We had Indianapolis Colts corner Juju Brents, and we had Seattle Seahawks cornerback Devon Witherspoon. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, we spoke to Byron Young. Here's a little bit of that conversation, just in case you missed it. We're going to play a little game of word association. So I'm going to give you some names, and I want you to think of one word, the first word that comes to mind. All right? Bryce Young.
Tough.
C.J. Stroud.
Baller.
Bijan Robinson.
Dog.
Zay Flowers.
Speed.
Jalen Carter.
Animal.
Will Anderson.
Dog.
Byron Young.
Him.
Let's go. Let's go, B.
I love that.
That was good. I wasn't on this segment. That was awesome.
You
I was
weren't
just
on this
entertained. That was my
segment.
first time seeing that. That was good.
Now, I'm told that the winner was actually announced, or last week's winner was announced. Can I get a clarification on that? I believe last week's winner was already announced, or this week's winner was already announced. Someone give me the update on that. But just want to go ahead and remind you, voting has there we go. Week 5 winner, Devon Achane. There he is right there.
Wow. That's dope. He's banged up right now, dealing with some injuries. But, again, this was a guy that nobody expected to really make the team, but he kept showing up. But, you know, there's always that guy in camp that just shows up. And it's like the vets is actually the one that choose you. Because when the vets are the ones like, Coach, do you see him? Coach, like – and so you become the fan favorite, you become the vet favorite, and you find a way on the team, and he's taking advantage of his opportunity. So I can't wait for him to get back, because if this team can stay healthy, you talk about speed, talk about electricity, like they're that across the board. And they got Chase Claypool that they haven't even implemented yet.
So we're going to go ahead and announce the winner for Week 6 on tomorrow's show, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. Voting closes Thursday at 11 a.m., The NFL will announce the Week 6 winner noon on Thursday, so do not forget to vote at NFL.com/voting/rookies. That's NFL.com/voting/rookies. Like I said, voting closes at 11 a.m., so definitely go ahead and cast your vote for your favorite. And this has been Yo Rookie. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into some more quick reads real quick. Micah, he's going to sound off against the haters, and I love this, Micah. Play the villain role. This is where you shine, baby. Micah Parsons has some news, or has some words, rather, for the Cowboys haters. He is calling out the media for all Cowboys negativity, and I love it. Go ahead and run this.
I just don't condone the bashing of Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys and have the same energy for the Eagles. We want the same energy for everybody, because there's a whole bunch of bashing when it's Dak Prescott, but not the same when it's the Eagles. I got time today. A lot of people said the Browns defense was overhyped. I said the Browns are the real deal. Acho said this, which pissed me off. I'm not worried about the 49ers. They were missing Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel. The Browns were missing Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb. They were missing them key factors before the game even started. So why is it that we are just scrubs and we're nobodies that don't deserve to be on the field and we're just all talk? But there's 100 excuses for these other teams. If y'all just want to hate Cowboys Nation, just say y'all hate Cowboys Nation. I'm tired of people trashing my quarterback. I'm tired of people trashing my team. And that's why I had nothing to say to
Yes, Michael.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was in his bag. He did his thing.
That is what I was talking about, and that's exactly what I said on this show when we were talking about the Dak Prescott being called. What was he called again? Oh, Dak Prescott sucks by what's his name?
Shady?
No, what's the other?
Dante Whitner.
Yes, Whitner. This is what I'm talking about. The constant moving goalposts for the Dallas Cowboys. I hate this because every other team, it's always an excuse why they didn't win. It's always a justification. Oh, this happened. Oh, this happened. The Cowboys win. The Cowboys lose. There's always a nitpick. It's always not good enough. When they lose, it's a disaster waiting to happen. See, I told you the Cowboys aren't a Super Bowl team. It's all hype. When they win a game, oh, they beat the Jets. It doesn't matter. Oh, the Eagles lost to the Jets. They were undefeated. The Browns beat the undefeated 49ers. It's a constant moving goalpost. I'm glad it's not just me that feels like it. Shout out to Micah Parsons.
You know how y'all can shut them up? You and Micah and the whole Cowboy Nation, win the Super Bowl. And it all goes away.
Other teams don't have to do that, Brandon.
Can you imagine?
Other teams don't have to do that.
But y'all the Cowboys. Can you imagine
That'd be insane.
Think about this, bro. Like, if the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl, what is the narrative then? What are we talking about? Like, how bigger does these stories get? How bigger does the deals get for these players off the field, right? And Jerry Jones. Like, the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl would be the biggest, those moments where you collect everything that your haters say.
Yeah.
But when you actually, kill them with success, this would be, one of the biggest stories ever when it comes to that. Y'all talked about us for 20-something years. And now we just won a Super Bowl. Imagine their parade. Imagine what they're saying on the podium after.
The crazy thing about that is we all know that's not going to happen. The Cowboys are not.
I don't know, B.
First of all,
the
watch your
Cowboys
mouth.
are not winning.
Watch your
Super
mouth,
Bowl.
first of all. Watch your mouth when you're sitting next to me. Okay? Have some respect.
And I love that.
Because we can box.
I love that Michael Parsons is giving his fans just, his heart on his sleeve. But I also have concern, right? What we told when we were players all the time, don't read what everybody's saying. Don't pay attention to what the media are saying negative-wise or positive-wise. Don't feed into it because it's going to affect your locker room or your play somehow. You can see it really got to him that they are talking about that.
Right.
At some point, that could affect your play in a locker room.
True.
He seemed to be handling it fine. Michael Parsons top, 2? Defensive players in the league.
Yeah.
So he's handling it fine. Yeah. You doing your thing, boss, but the thing just as a dinosaur, because we ain't had this whole social media thing when we were playing, I just wonder if it will affect him going down the road.
Right.
That's a great point. I don't think so, but here's the thing. It's also you can't avoid it. It's because it's just so saturated. We're not talking about, a couple of, blogs or a local radio station knocking the home team. That you can avoid.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys are talked about in every media landscape that you can think of. You would have to literally not go on your phone, not watch TV, not turn on you would have to live in a cave to avoid any type of Cowboys conversation.
But that's what comes with it.
But this is what he is talking about.
Cowboys are toxic. Y'all
toxic. It's not the criticism.
Y'all unhealthy.
It's not the criticism that the fans and the players of the Dallas Cowboys have an issue with. It's the constant moving goalposts of the criticism. If it was the same criticism that the Eagles get when they lose a game that the Cowboys get, this is not a conversation. But because the Cowboys lose to the 49ers, the Eagles then lose to the Jets, there's a different conversation that's had. There's a different conversation that's had about Jalen Hurts throwing an interception.
Expectations for
There's
people
a different
and
conversation
teams.
about Josh Allen throwing multiple interceptions in a game than there is Dak Prescott, and that's what Micah's talking about. If you're going to criticize people based on the parameters of the game, if you're going to criticize Dak for throwing multiple interceptions in a game, why does Josh Allen not get that same smoke?
Because it's two things,
why does Jalen Hurts not get that same smoke?
It's two things. When you're America's team, you know what come with it. B.
Oh, we're America's team.
I feel like every
now
NFL player wanted to go put that star on that helmet because you know you playing prime time every week. Everybody go talk about what you're going to do, good or bad, right? And I think the second thing is that Philly, Buffalo, all the teams you name, every year their team or their fans, is more of the fans, aren't saying they're going to win the Super Bowl.
That's not true. That's not true. The
What fan
Bills
base other
fans
than
have
the
been saying they were going to win the
Damn,
Super
so
Bowl
they
for
the
the past.
problem be.
The fans the problem.
No,
every
no.
year,
Time out.
every year the
Mr. Jeff is the
Cowboys.
problem.
Time out. The
Every
Cowboys
year.
don't. The Cowboys and the fans don't pick themselves to win the Super Bowl. We're favorited from the start of the NFL season.
Y'all never favored.
Hold on, not one of the favorites. We're always in the Vegas odds. We're not making.
Yeah,
the
everybody's
odds.
in the Vegas odds,
We're
but y'all
not-
never the
we're not-
favorites.
We're not in the
I don't know
media.
the last.
We're not in
like,
the media. What I'm saying, one of the favorites. We're one of the top favorites, like top 5. We're not the one doing the odds. We're not the ones making the list on ESPN and NFL.com. That's the media. Why are we taking the brunt of
No,
that?
I agree. I agree with being saying
Cowboys
it is.
fans,
And
no
Bills
matter
fans
what.
do it too.
No, they not saying we win in the Super Bowl every year.
The Bills always say we're Bills fans are
Patriots,
always
because they've done it. The
Philly
Patriots.
thinks they doing it.
No, the
Ever
Patriots.
since
I can
they
see.
went.
Damn,
Stop.
B. So what other teams like the Patriots? I feel like
Stop.
they have an expectation.
Dolphins
they had
fans.
They had an
Fans.
expectation.
No, not the
but like
Dolphins.
the Cowboys have missed the playoffs, and then next year, like, oh, now
So what?
we going.
So what?
Like we just
So because we're
see the Eagles step
so because
up
we're
and
optimistic, we deserve like what I'm saying is that, and also what annoys me is that everyone's always dissing the Cowboys. You're not America's team anymore. Nobody cares about the Cowboys, and stop talking about us. If
No,
you, don't
you are
care,
America's
here's
team.
the thing. Here's my thing. You can't have it both
You know
ways.
why?
If
What
you
does
don't
America's
ca-
team
If
mean?
you don't care. This is the thing. Everybody always talks about we don't care
Y'all-
about the
y'all use
Cowboys.
that too much,
Nobody
though.
cares about the Cowboys. Y'all not America's team. We don't care. Well, y'all sure talk about a team a whole lot that you don't care about.
Okay,
So do you
what does
care or
America's
not
team
care?
mean? What does let's break this down because I feel like y'all like we use this the wrong way, or we don't really understand it. This generation doesn't understand it. What is America's team?
The Cowboys got the name America's team because they were at the time, they were the team that was most on prime time.
Thank you.
So it was a
Thank
team
you.
that
Thank you.
you could see national game. You would always see on TV regardless of where you were in the country. They also got the name because the multiple
stay
Super
right
Bowl
there.
in the 90s, the 2P. It was just always
They-
on TV. They were
yeah.
always winning. It became America's team.
I still think they're America's team because they're the main team that you care about, right? That's
But
like
do you care or do you not care?
I do care because the news is always good
No, what I'm
surrounding
saying,
the Cowboys.
but you get what I'm
Like,
saying, right? Everyone says that they don't care, but they don't stop talking about it. So do you care or do you not care?
Well, the reason
It's almost
why-
like a relationship. If somebody make you mad, your spouse make you mad, like I don't care, but you mad as hell because you do care and it's bothering you. Like everybody cares about the Cowboys, but it's a thin line between being optimistic and delusional. Like it's a line. Like
Hold on, say that again because I need to be clear. That's a clip right there. Go ahead, say it again, bro.
it's a line that needs to be drawn with being optimistic and delusional.
Okay.
Like every fan base, like
delusional.
we hope we can win the Super Bowl this year. The Cowboys are saying we are going to win the Super
So
Bowl.
what? I say
Like,
we're gonna win the World
that's-
Series every year as a Yankees fan. Does that mean it's gonna happen? I'm supposed to be optimistic. What am I gonna say? Oh, we're gonna go out there and try our best. No, you're supposed to reach for the mountaintop. Like that doesn't mean anything. Like what
No,
kind
you're
of
being
fan
optimistic with
what
the
kind,
Yankees.
What
Cowboys,
kind of fan would
they're
you be to go
delusional.
out there and say, yeah, we're gonna try our best this year, but I don't think we're gonna win. No, you're supposed
my
to be
goodness.
delusional as a fan. It's
Well,
fanatic.
my biggest thing here is like this. I love Ashley hit it. She gave us a dope history lesson there. They were in front of everyone, right? Back in the day, not everybody was on national TV. And then what ended up happening, Ashley gave us the best sound bites there. They start winning. And so their fan base is all over the country now, all over the world. So that's why we're always talking about them because they have the biggest base. So, but America's team, when some people say America's team's like we love, it's not love, it's more hate than love, I would say.
If you ain't got haters, you ain't popping. That's all I know.
And Ashley, here's what I want to say. This is what I'm gonna do, right? Because I before the season, I said I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. First couple of games, I'm trying not to overreact.
You
and
can't
then
switch up.
a week ago, I forget what game it was.
49ers. Oh no, the Arizona Cardinals.
The Cardinals. I was like, What I'm saying is this: I'm gonna continue to be faithful and ride with the Cowboys because it's a long season, and this could be. I want to see. I love storylines. I can't wait to see the Dallas Cowboys win in my lifetime because I can't imagine that parade. Well, and Jerry Jones because Jerry Jones is 100.
Jones lifetime. I want to know win one.
Yes,
I'm going to
because
jail.
he's gonna
Just
go.
know that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what Jerry Jones
I want
going
Jerry
to
to
do
win one.
with a parade and post Super Bowl?
I will make sure I'm going to give one of y'all some bail money to come get me out because it's about to be lit.
We ain't gonna see Ashley for 6 months.
What?
Super
You know
Bowl.
how lit is I'm going to be at that parade? Just make sure y'all save my money,
No.
my bail money to get me out because we're going to be doing some things. That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And let the Knicks win one in my lifetime.
That's going to be a beautiful. You know what's going to happen for you? That's going to be a beautiful like phase of your life. It's going to happen. Cowboys win. The Knicks win. Can you imagine that? Like your teams that you love, and she was born into this first, okay? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden they win it. They've been at the bottom of the barrel your whole life. Can you imagine that, B?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's going to be good.
Yo, when the Knicks win a championship, I will be in tears. Like I played.
She said I'm gonna be in tears.
No, I'm gonna be like legitimate. And I'm not. You guys, listen. I'm not a crier. I'm not like a highly emotional person like that. I will be in tears, crying.
That's gonna
like
be dope.
Hysterically ugly crying.
And you too, Mr. Jeff. That's Ashley's dad's name.
Yeah.
He'd be here too. If you see Mr. Jeff in the chat, that's him. He's
I'm
gonna be
really
crying too.
getting
Mr. Jeff,
goosebumps
have you ever
about
seen
it.
your dad cry?
Like once, maybe in my life.
Okay, because Mr. Jeff don't look like he crazy, like old school a little
Just
bit.
once.
Mr. Jeff will be like,
And not even like a cry, like a.
Oh no! Don't try to say.
What
Don't
is
try to
it?
save him now.
No. Like when your eyes get a little like glossy and watery, like that. Not like a full.
Is he in the chat today?
Not like a full blown cry. No, I don't think so. I think he's in a meeting or something like that. Andrew, how much time do we have left?
It's over with.
We're over with.
I think.
I didn't get Andrew, you didn't give me a.
We started at 11. It's 12:45.
Oh, show's over. He did.
He
All right. Sorry, guys. I started fantasizing about Knicks championship and Cowboys
and
parades and the push tush. Yes. That's for later in the weekend, though. Listen, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining Paper Route on this hump day. We will be back tomorrow at our big fancy studio at Brandstar. So you're listening on Sirius XM, Faction Talk 103. Thank you so much. If you want to see all the shenanigans, including Brandon's absolutely atrocious tier ranking of quarterbacks, make sure you check out the I Am Athlete YouTube page, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye. Don't make fun of my